into this tournament. So that's amazing to see. He's an amazing player.
Yeah,
And
Nerds and
Dust,
Lado
what
are the
about
two.
yourself?
Yeah, Nerds and Lado are the two highest rated players in the tournament so far, and they're both playing extremely well. I think Nerds has been able to find a little bit of comfort in not having to be the guy entering all the time, and he's playing very well, and so has Lado.
Guys, I think this matchup has just gone live. Thank you so much for your thoughts. Let's head on over to Neo and Scrooge. We've got Team Liquid versus Legacy.
Yes, indeed. Very much looking forward to getting into another game of Counter-Strike, of course. And I kind of agree with Prof, honestly. I think this could be one of the most entertaining games of the tournament so far. I think that both these teams seem to be in really, really good form. Maybe Liquid you would have had your eyes on. Legacy, though, not so much. They've been riding the wave of VRS since the Major and not really delivering on it for a long, long time. But here at CAC, it seems they might be.
For me, I'm going to just differ between best and entertaining, right? He said best. This, I think, could be absolute carnage. And a flashing towards ramp, he said Lato flying into the fight is exactly what we mean. This could be, and especially with the veto of all the makings, to be such a chaotic game of Counter-Strike. And that's exactly how it starts. Lato flies into the fight, gets one, drops a leash, but a quick trade that comes through from Ultimate.
Yeah, the round has reset here, I think, which could certainly change the tides, but they've still got spatterings of players towards that A side of things. An interesting sort of angle for Nissim as well. He's looking to find that timing with the utility if they head towards B and don't pivot down the underpass. Potentially, I think they want to see what the pistols on A can get done, what they can attract. Naf just with a full sprint away, not really wanting to give his life away, but we've had a quick move in towards window from Nert, so B looks kind of ripe for the taking until Shuhei dives in over aggressively. That could have been messy for sure if another kill had come in from the lone defender, but lone he is, and now with the bomb going down, these rotations are forfeit. Nice shot from Nerds. He maybe needed another. It's a flank on a flank here as well, depending on how Naf plays this. He's really unaware, however, and dumau has crept in. This is a very strange sort of situation. Where can he be? I mean, towards short and maybe in towards the apps. They now start to check it, and he finds the key frag, stops the bomb defuse, and wins it out for Liquid.
God, Naf does so well. I actually kind of feel a little bit there because Naf is slowly pushing through the apartments. They just assume it's free, but it sort of thread the needle a little bit. It's a chaotic pistol, but all that matters, I guess, in the end is Naf makes sure that that bomb stays down. So Liquid do get a good start here. It was pretty damn close, but the second Sadzin falls, he sort of, dumau has to get off the bomb there. Force gonna come through. Scout out for Sadzin and P9 for Lato's all going to pistols around it. It's still a bit of a scary buy. You can't kind of show no respect in rounds like this, and Ultimate hits so very low. One body shot's all that was required, but dumau can't hit it.
Yeah, even does damage to like the player sort of behind him. So that's kind of sadly comical, but we'll see later on in the round if the damage does come back to bite Ultimate. Burst in towards mid, 1 for 1. Not going to be enough to get us excited just yet. Trades are back in here from the T side as well. Elige keeping his cool. Oh man, and keeps them coming as well. Not quite going to get all of them, but he's done enough for the round to just make sure that there's no funny business there against the force buy. And certainly Elige is the player that we absolutely have to look towards. It seems the effect has been pretty immediate. This is their first big tournament with him under the helm. No offense to the Birch Cup, it's been referenced a few times, but indeed, Elige seems to be really making an impact here for Liquid.
Yeah, and I feel like this kind of swap move that happened with kind of him and Twists, it's actually been just a net positive in both ways. I think FaZe do look better with Twist than they do. I mean, Twist individually has been fantastic, and same for Elige. Back in a system that he's comfortable with. And speak of the devil, he shall arise. He gets the opener on towards Sadzin and Naflad. A Mac 10 kill. A lot of cash in the back pocket. I mean, this is a nothing round, sure, but if you're Legacy, you're hoping to make it expensive the same way you made the previous round expensive, but this time looks and feels pretty unlikely. The remaining three are all over towards B. and they might just shell up for the most part. I don't think they want to feed too much. Maybe I speak too soon, actually. Lugs, that's a nice double. And that dink on towards Elige, no less, as well. He's made a good effort out of it.
Definitely making themselves known. I think it is that individual level, that ceiling that we've seen from Legacy a couple times this year that has been making the difference here at CAC. And I think if they can immediately tap into that, it is going to be hard for Liquid to feel comfortable in this game, even against these lower buys. Anything is possible type mentality. Bomb goes off. Liquid stringing up to 3 pretty quickly, but like I say, not stress-free. I think they will be full of cortisol at the moment. So we're going to see how things look into this first rifle. Legacy straight in with the timeout. They want to make sure they get this on the board.
I think this is a good call for a timeout here as well. Orb's going to be coming in play for Sadzin. Rifles across the board as well for Legacy. But I think this is a good time, right? You've already sort of had a decent indicator about what the tempo that Liquid are trying to set. You really want to immediately be able to shut it down, just slow them down in a sense as well. And also, you need to get started. You fall flat here as well, and Liquid can start pulling away early doors on their map pick. Those who missed it, we've got the... I mean, I want to say Holy Grail, but it's sort of the opposite. The trinity of puggy maps, and for most people, myself included, arguably the 3 worst in the pool.
Yeah, we're agreed on that. We were debating the order.
Yeah,
that's
so
kind of
for
how
me, Inferno,
unhinged it gets.
Worst map in the pool. Dust2 follows it up, and then I don't actually mind Mirage. In all fairness, it's just like just the next one there kind of thing.
It's very. We'll hold the point. We'll hold the point. We've got a quick move coming in here from Team Liquid, of course.
Oh.
Looking good. The A1S of Lato mows them down before he's forced forwards. Naf on the fall, however, has found the important kill to maybe get them into this A bomb site. Nerds has to be very careful, though. He's so low with this bomb on the belt, and so low that he opts to back off. They're going to look towards B and give that a go instead. Legacy, unfortunately, not hearing any of this, not figuring it out either. Just got the AWP trained in, still expecting an A move. They will be nastily surprised by what is about to come, and I think because of how far into A, and now they get even further into A, it's going to buy so much time for these 2 players on B.
Question is, how do they want to set themselves up in this post plant? They're going to plant 4 market. I kind of like this. Nerds is in here. He's behind a smoke too. I mean, the retaker of an AWP, there is definitely a world in which if Legacy don't get a kill early, they call this off immediately. Keep hold of the AWP, keep hold of the M4. Oh my god, he dinks him. And Sands is going to find Nerds. Has to win out this fight now, and he does. Molly will come down, but he's already out a window, but no! Wins the 1 versus 2. Oh, they called upon a hero, and they get him. And Inafa's in chat, because he's in this damn round. 4-0 for Team Liquid, and he steps up massively in the 1 versus 2.
How does he get away with that? I mean, there's a kill on A as well that feels unlikely. Ridiculous moves. And always going to be worrying if it's Naf that we're looking towards, and Alicia's not far behind him. Roll it back a few years, why don't you? So Legacy going to have their work cut out if they can't convert moments like that. It felt good for Liquid, though. The pivot towards B was very smart indeed. But a clutch on top of it is just from bad to worse to even worse, honestly. It just gets more and more frustrating. Slow build up here, as it will be the mid presence, as holding on to the flawless half is obviously a pretty big deal here for Team Liquid, and making sure that against this particular low buy there's no stress.
Yeah, true. Lato. Probably going to be tested momentarily. Nerds been boosted up in towards window. Silently, for now. And Shuhei in through ladder. It feels like they actually want to finish towards A, at least a little bit. Ultra bomb on his back. I mean, I think it's really down to what Nerds can do here. He does check it, but he can't hit the shot. Lato wins out that fight. And And now there's questions to be asked about where they go. They are finishing towards A as expected. Ultimate! We've got to win that fight. He's so fortunate that it's an MP9 for Lux on the other side. Any other gun, especially any other rifle, and Ultimate falls there. He is so lucky indeed, and now he's called upon. A 2 versus 3, and he's low.
Crazy. Felt like it was on. Again, I think we've seen a couple today, actually, of just still moving while shooting. He's not considering the ramp flank at all. He will give it a little check. The timing is absolutely perfect. So at least he's got that down pat. Into the 2-on-2 now. Gonna hear some footsteps coming in. Oh, God, an awkward exchange as they're caught out in the open. There's no time to get this done. There's absolutely no time to get it done. Ultimate just has to stay alive. And even then, I think the window had closed. Team Liquid keep them rolling. But once again, it's another costly anti-force buy situation. Ultimate even close to going down to the bomb.
Yeah, it's costly. I guess that's the silver lining that Legacy can take. There isn't loads of silver linings at the moment. You're 5-0 in the whole team. Because T-Side and Mirage is looking pretty good at the moment. They're getting a lot of free real estate. And they're exposing a lot of gaps in Legacy. Legacy have actually looked really good this tournament. Some nice wins under their belt. And maybe kind of capitalizing upon kind of weakened opponents, I think is maybe an argument to make, but they can only play what's in front of them. Of course, they had Virtus.pro to start. VP are very weak at the moment, but that win over 3D Max is super legit.
Yeah, that is true. I think you're being very nice to VP there, but yeah, the 3D Max, solid game.
Yeah, it was a bit of a barn burner, that one as well. 3D Max are no joke of a side to put away at the moment.
Definitely worth checking out.
Yeah. So, Legacy, you know, in a real deserving position being here in this upper final.
It is true, and worth noting once again that the winner of this does skip through to the semi, which is a really, really big deal, you know. Removes a lot of pressure. You get a bit of time off. Makes a world of difference. Legacy, unfortunately, have not gotten themselves into proceedings quite yet. We are still looking for, I would say, something from them. We're just looking for a round, really. There's been a deal of competition, of course, but they just can't quite convert in the final 10% of a round. Funky angle here from Nissim. As the kills keep on coming in, they might not even need him, to be honest. Ultimate and Naf find themselves all alone here. They've barely broken in towards B. They know about one player over here, but even then, do they? Dumau swings round to maybe get the job done all by himself. And Nissim, he had this cool idea. He was like, you know, boost me up. I'm gonna catch them off guard, but they never make it to him. So just an indictment of the attack there from Team Liquid.
Good news is, though, it means Legacy can reuse the angle. I don't think he was even spotted. So he could just go straight back if he really wants. And I really don't think they even got to a point of seeing him up there. So that's the silver line, but really nice work from Dumau. When he's on his game, Dumau is so fun to watch. He's such an enjoyable Counter-Strike player. He's very loud and proud in terms of his Counter-Strike in and out of the server. And he's exciting. Can be a bit of a highlight merchant. And they're going to call upon him a lot in towards today's game. You know, him and Lato, I think, really do have to pull their weight, if we're being completely honest. Especially if we do get on the flip side, Naf and Elige firing on all cylinders. We need as good of a response. And, well, so far, so good, I guess. Can't complain just yet.
But it does go to show how close things have been, right? You see the first round for Legacy in 6, and the money just completely disappeared for Team Liquid here. Going to try and break their way into the ace fight, but Lato is far too strong. And Elige on the AK, but with no head armor there, I think. So they make quick work out of him. A couple kills back round for Team Liquid, but nothing to write home about just yet.
Beautiful work. Lato 4-0 in opening duels in the first 7 rounds played. It's not a bad spot to be in. He's very confident in actually kind of meeting Liquid at the extremities and fighting them up early, which is pretty sick to see. 10-5 for him. Of course, that was a bit of a nothing round, all things considered, but you take what's in front of you. And for Legacy, this is now about them scaling into this game. I mean, round number 8 should be a complete freebie. We'll see. MP9 for looks up close. And a nade that bounds around. That can do a decent amount of damage. It does. Shuhei hit for a lot. Actually, not as much an ultimate as I thought.
Yeah, nades do be like that sometimes. Dumau creeping forwards. He's got a good nade of his own, however. A Molotov as well to back it up. I think they would have had a nice clean fight. The Molly sort of messes it up slightly, but they will just about hold the line. Dumau is lucky. Takes a double dinker through the wall. Not enough damage to finish him off. So a flawless one there from Legacy. Gap closing exponentially here, Neo. Liquid, I think, are going to have to figure this one out and hold on to their lead. It's looking slightly dangerous as Legacy are ramping up.
Yeah, they've got to figure it out quite sharpish as well, if we're being honest. Bit of a predicament brewing for Liquid. We buy back in, rifles across the board. Worth mentioning that Utah is actually a little bit thin towards Liquid, especially if they would, use it to generally give themselves a lot of saps. Lux actually gets tagged by his own AWPer, I'm pretty sure, as he's crossing. I'm pretty sure he's got legged by Sadzin. As he was jumping across, it might not matter because he'll open things up. He'll find the leash through that smoke. Sadzin now posted, waiting to fight as well. It's ultimate. He was tempted by the swing. Nerds up on high as well, but a re-smoke in towards Palace. Aptly timed to try and keep Naf at bay. Another down two as that one gets broken open. They're scaling in towards the side quite well here, Liquid, but they're taking a lot of damage to get here. Naf will fall to the nade. Ultimate jumping up, drops the bomb in the worst possible spot. And that's the round already done. An unrecoverable bomb there as Ultimate tries some sort of a gimmick and he gets punished for it.
Yeah, 2v5, maybe got to do something, anything to recover the round back. But it felt like it was beyond saving at that point, in all fairness. So certainly not the turning point of the round, but just goes to show how messy it was that the bomb never really had a chance to go down, never felt confident. So not looking too good in the recent rounds from Team Liquid. They know that. They're going to take a timeout. Just try and figure this one out as the devil is at the door. Legacy ready to take their place at the top of the field here if they continue this kind of form.
Yeah, you'd assume this one must be a bit of a freebie for Legacy. Low buy for Liquid. They do squeeze out half armor with upgraded pistols. And, a fair decent amount of util to maybe facilitate a plant. That's what you're looking for in a round like this, but even still, does feel kind of unlikely. dumau wants to fight early. These steps should have been heard. There's a leash up close. They're trying to beat the upgraded pistols at the forefront, and they do. Shuhei and Naf both caught as a leash will join them, spam through the wood. It's a shutdown and a massacre in towards B-Apps. And Nerds left all alone. Oh, so quickly. From 5-0 up, 5-all is on the brink as Nerds. There's no chance here. Not a 1 versus 5. I don't think he has that in the locker with just the Tech-9.
Yeah, not quite sure. He's off on his holidays while everyone else is in the B-Apps. Maybe hoping to just catch an overzealous push in at middle, but it does not happen for him. So is he going to make us wait another 45 seconds? No, he will start moving. So that's good, at the very least. But indeed, it will be evened up pretty easily. And this is one of the key differences, I think, to be honest. These unlikely rounds, these lesser rounds, Legacy have looked a lot better against them, whereas Team Liquid, they were pretty messy. They let him come quite close, only having 1 or 2 players survive. And eventually, it did cost them. Legacy, I think, understood that it's like, look, the scoreline doesn't really reflect how close it's been in the first handful of rounds. And once they manage to get one on the board, they are, as yet, unable to stop. Nerd's going to try and make a desperate move towards the A-bomb site here.
He technically has time.
He does, but I don't know if he meets resistance that he'll have time.
Yeah.
Don't mind me, guys. Just going to plant the bomb. Don't mind me. But no, not going to get away with that.
I love the patience from Legacy, though, just to make sure we don't give him any fights until he has to kind of jump in for the plan. He doesn't want to stay alive, of course. 5-all. What a run by Legacy. What a response after a pretty slow start and a pretty non-existent entry in towards their opponent's map pick, they've really quite come alive and at quite the apt time, because Liquid are starting to look a little flat. We buy back in if you're Liquid here, but the same thing that has been the case for the last 3 gun rounds. You buy in, you don't find this, you're down to a tough buy in towards the final round of this half. Potentially could even be netting Legacy that 7th. Oh, he had the picture to work with, but it's dumau who opens things up and he gets out of there as well. Molly comes down at a perfect time to stop them scaling in towards short and keep them locked in towards mid for now.
Yeah, big finds from Legacy, I think, to be honest, to just retain control of the round and the game at large. Plenty of utility remaining for them as well to put up the defensive walls. Not a lot left for Liquid to try and break them down. So it's not looking too good. We'll see if some of these scary names can activate, of course. Nert's a little quiet here. Obviously, I think one of our favorite players, given the nature of where he may well have originated at endpoint. Ultimate, however, before I get the sentence out, is suddenly alone. They're just losing all these 1v1s now. There's no bite to this Team Liquid team all of a sudden. And yes, 6-5, but it shouldn't be that close. I think Legacy could easily have picked up maybe 8 rounds by now if things had gone their way.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And it's even worth mentioning, you know, right at the start when Team Liquid was starting to build a bit of a lead. And yeah, they're good. When they're starting to build this kind of nice lead, we were picking up Naf and Elige, but I don't think Elige's got a kill in the last, like, 6 rounds of play.
That's such a fair point, yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was on 6 kills when we were bigging him and Naf up. Let's see. An opener, the Shuain, who's found. Nerds will follow suit as well. Ultimate Elige also joined them in the grave, and Naf is left with it all to do. What a whimper of an end to this half by Liquid. You got 5-0 up, and you lose the next 7 straight. And it's Lato in the end, 4-2. What a performance he's having. 14 kills. dumau's got 17 as well, and Lux is not too far behind on 11. This is a brilliant display by Legacy. A flawless round to close it, and that's indicative of actually how that half looked. If they got a slightly stronger start, there's no competition in this map.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, like that final round, you can't blame the technicals necessarily. The flashes were good. There were a few awkward mollies in there to push people out. They're just not getting the shots, which I think is not really a good sign. There's obviously been a really big turnaround. Why you got to do him like that? You know, obviously, Shuhei not having the best individual performance here. But yeah, it just feels a bit strange that the Liquid players have dropped off a cliff. And maybe it is because, you know, a couple of the guys are still right at the bottom. They never really got going. And Legacy eventually able to capitalize on that. But you see there's like 2 kills by fully blinded players. There were some Molotovs to just clear out those common angles, and Liquid did not make that competitive at all. So no. You do worry now. You kind of go into this side as well on the CT end, where they're going to be spread a bit thinner. They need some of that firepower to come into play. And we worry that it will ever show up.
Oh. Let's see. Can Team Liquid just sort of shrug this off now with a solid pistol? That's what they're hoping. They've got 2 in towards under, Elige and Nerds. Naf jump spotting. Spots 1, Molly down. Wants to try and stop them on the initial jump out. He will get 1, but an immediate trade. Elige finds one of his own as well, and Nerds is really built up quite a quick flank here. Bomb will go down, but this is janky. Oh, Lux had him dead to right and doesn't confirm it. Does Nerds clear the close right? He does, but he'll still lose his head. Legacy are putting something behind this as Nissim gets 2, and it leaves it all on the shoulders of 1. The bolt buff not enough for Elige. Lato will clip him, and Legacy continue this run. That's now 8 rounds in a row for Legacy, spanning across 2 halves.
Yeah, looking pretty incredible at the moment. They are set to continue it as well. Judging by the lack of an immediate buy, I think we might see a few upgraded pistols here for Team Liquid, but nothing too substantial. Going to try and get the early rifles in play. So that puts a lot of weight on this round number 15, the next round. Legacy are in prime position to just steal this map pick away, in all honesty, and kind of making it look a little easy at times. Testing the water with a B execute here. Make sure everything is all set. There is no stack over here, Elige. Here you go. Head on a swivel. Finds another. Oh, one more, and we start to believe Nerds manages to retrieve a MAC-10. Maybe he can do something with it. And the answer is yes. Suddenly, it's alive. The dream is here. The bomb is going to get planted in this brief window of respite. The low pistols, can they get anything done? Maybe a little giddy as they move through. Can't quite work off of each other.
Oh my.
The dink lands, and Sadzin is lucky to be alive. He capitalizes with the new lease on life. All down to Naf. The recovered Deagle is not enough, and Legacy survive the storm.
Commendable effort, especially by Elige, right? Those two shots, really, really respectable. Bomb not to be. 9 now for Legacy. And this is also the issue when you pick into puggy maps, I think, inherently, is that all it takes is a few players to really pop off. I mean, this is a map, of course, in which the individual Legacy would have played a hell of a lot, even in just the raw kind of pugs here, your FPLs and whatnot. So far, they can afford to play quite loose, quite kind of scrappy in that sense. They can be agents of chaos in the sense of that they will back themselves in these individual 50-50s, and Liquid just don't really seem to have the ability to respond. I mean, Nerds having a very slow game. Shuhei really struggling to get off the board. Ultimate not looking great either. I mean, it's 3 out of 5 who have been next to non-existent in the kills department for Team Liquid, and it's really starting to become quite clear. Shuhei's taking ramp control. Someone's holding for the push. I don't think he'll be giving it.
Oh.
They know. Oh. What was that smoke?
I think that might have been a little double clicker, but only with one click.
They know it's only one guy here, though, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
They know it to be here.
The way that that's failed. Still, though, not super prepared, and the setup for me doesn't look all that good, so Nert's going to have to try and catch some players on the late cross. It's not going to happen. Nissim, meanwhile, catches Shuhei, who was trying to pull off that flank. So despite a few mishaps here from Legacy, it still seems to be going well enough. There's a trading of spams through the wood, and with that damage coming in, with no kills presenting, Liquid will move away to save.
And Nissim might actually be the thorn in the side in the save as well, right? He's hearing these steps. You can hear them going towards Palace as well. Oh, where's 1 for free? There's Naf gone down. Should have heard that Palace step. It's the shot. Oh, that's from bad to worse, really, for Liquid. 3 stay alive. It makes the buy situation a lot easier to figure out. Only 2. You then debate whether it's worth forcing around those 2 saves. I feel like we're at a point now where you're 10-5 that for Liquid, it might have been worth taking a gamble, but Legacy look excellent. Second attack pause taken by Liquid. And tactically, they look very lackluster there. But it's so surprising in a sense, right? Because they got all the information so early. They know it's only Nissim. They don't know specifically it's him, but they know it's only one guy over towards ramp, throwing all that set of util that's coming over. So they've got all the information they need. It's got to be a B here. There's no way. They haven't scaled through mid either. We know that they've got to be coming late through B. And they take a lot of time to get over there. And even when they do get over there, they lose the fights. It's tough to watch, but it's excellent from Legacy. Really can't complain. 10 in a row from this side. It is just superb.
Yeah, very, very streaky game, of course, as well. So wild to see. There was a time briefly where it felt like Liquid were just going to run away with things, actually. And all of a sudden, Legacy, they woke up. They remembered where they were. Came out of their slumber, and they've looked absolutely unstoppable. In every sense of the word, to be honest, a lot of very dominant rounds as well is the thing. You know, we're not getting many close situations. Maybe a little bit closer into the second half, but Still winning them out, of course. Looks. Oh, nice find up close. Yeah, when you're hitting shots like that, when you are on that walking on water kind of feeling, can be very, very difficult to stop you. Interesting thing for me, Liquid not really taking a lot of time. I think it would have been good to see some more solid timeouts here. Lacking some confidence, it certainly feels like.
Poor Shuhei though, right? 3 and 16 for him.
Yeah, not good. And
Winning ADR.
Always going to be difficult, I think, to IGL when you're also sucking a little bit. You know, you're just going to lack the belief in yourself.
Oh, and Nissan. He's also making life difficult for Nerds. He's also having a slow game. Molly towards stairs. His ultimate he'll trade. Guns to be recovered here as well, and he will opt for that AK. But who cares, right? You can have the AK. We'll have the B side. Bomb's going to come down momentarily. There's no one here to meet them. So Plant comes through, and all that Liquid can do is save. And, you know, honestly, Liquid, I mean, Legacy, I said, they don't care if you're saving those guns. It's not making a difference. They're not really breaking a sweat in any of these rounds. What a run by Legacy. Now 11 rounds in a row. And they don't look like they're stopping anytime soon. A superb showing from the Brazilians. And, I mean, for Liquid, a lot of questions now starting to be asked. They're kind of fortunate in a sense that this series isn't make or break in the tournament, right? You know, if you lose this series, you're still going playoffs. You just go to the quarters. You just go one step earlier. But this doesn't look like a playoff Liquid at the moment, and that's for damn sure.
Yes, very true. Very, very true indeed. Something is just totally missing the spark from this team that they seem to have had in the earlier days of the tournament. Is just not here. Legacy, meanwhile, kind of at the other end of that, I think we know them to be a team that are indeed passionate, you know, from Brazil, of course, but I think that they really do bring that kind of level of self-belief, self-determination. The early rounds were close. They nearly got in. And then when they did, it all started falling into place. It's just gotten better and better and better as the game has gone on. And they are looking for a flawless run here now. Now that I've mentioned it, of course, they won't get it. But
you've
certainly on the cards in their head. We'll see. Some decent nade damage to kick things off for Team Liquid.
Early B presence that they scale back from now. What is the play? I mean, there's 3 plays in the direction of B for Liquid, so this conditioning of B hits is, well, it's worked. Late mid control. Here's the option. Flash over. One more spot atop mid, but they're giving fights over. Liquid losing their lives, it feels like carelessly. They're flying in towards mid, and Legacy will take those aim duels every day of the week. They are so confident right now. If you want to give them 50-50s, they will punish. Nah, finds dumau, do the edge of that smoke, but he's left low. 30 seconds for them to get in towards the site. They want to finish towards A, it looks like. And Nissan's on the flank as well. Surely, Ultimate is dead to right, and he is. And so is surely the round for Liquid, all on the shoulders of Naf. An ace clutch required. He's already at 2. I don't think he's got a chance in this one. He's going to opt to try and save this AK, if we're being completely honest. That is Legacy, who make it now 12 in a row.
Certainly looked like a good position for the AWP, didn't it? But then you see on the mini-map, the shark beneath the water just waiting to end the round.
It's a tough watch, this, isn't it? It really is.
Yeah, I mean, in the same vein, I think Legacy are playing very well, and they're playing pretty entertaining Counter-Strike as we were expecting, but there's just, like, no response from Liquid. But if you can't, I mean, whatever, guys. If you can't, like, come on. If you can't make something happen in that previous round, I think where things started well, they had a few good parameters. They're just going to struggle in general, and maybe in the series as well. This timeout is far too late, to be honest, you know. So now you have to go on one of these generational runs that we see, like, maybe twice a year to pull off a comeback like this with the kind of pressure that they have. So We're going to find out. Maybe they can do it. We'll try and keep some hope alive, but we like to keep it real here on the Neo and Scriv show.
Of course.
And I think this one is indeed going to be over sooner than you think.
I'll give you something real. Liquid are looking really bad at the moment.
Not some of your best work. Not some of your best.
A workshop that one? All right.
Yeah.
12-5 Legacy. They've looked excellent, though. There's just so little we can say on a bad note for them. They're so confident. They're relentless. The pressure they put on, they make life difficult to deal with for Liquid. Let's see if there's anything that they can brew off the back of that timeout. Molly in towards short, ultimate going to fall away. Only one player in Liquid's even cracked into double digits. I mean, it's been a pretty dismal display, unfortunately. But a slow tempo by Legacy. I can respect this. And that's Ultimate, who starts well. dumau, first to fall. That's a big scalp to take, is the heavy hitter over towards Legacy, the first to fall.
Man, the timing was good over there, but Naf, he's in the right place at the right time. The crouching sprays, a pretty bad habit of a lot of players, I think it is safe to say, will mean that they both live it for now, and Naf is going to capitalize on that fact, keep the kills coming. Lux will be alone. Now it becomes about damage. Can he take a gun away? Particularly this orb would be solid. I think he wanted to land more on the ledge of the window. So they're going to have heard him now, and I think they will have a pretty good idea of what's going on. Naf, easy for him, and a really big round coming in from the old guard of Liquid. 4-piece to get them their 6th and keep them alive. Gonna need 6 more of those, however.
Yeah. We need a lot more. It's all well and good getting that, and I think actually Legacy make life a little too easy for Liquid in that one. That's sort of one of those positions where you hit map point and you just get a little bit too overconfident, especially when you get 12 rounds in a row. You are going to get quite overconfident, a little bit too comfortable in your Counter-Strike. I think it's actually a really good time to call a pause. A lot of credit to Legacy to very early doors realize, okay, that was pretty loose from us. I think a little bit too loose. We made that round way too easy for them. Let's raid it back in, go back to a little bit more of our rigid style. We can keep playing a little bit quick. We can keep playing in a little bit of the chaos, and we can back ourselves with the individuals as we like to set up our T sides. But let's not get careless. And I think that's what that round was. It was just a little bit careless. There's too many fights that were just too free for Liquid. So I think it's a good time to call up for a pause. And you get ahead of the curve, right?
Yeah, I think it's a very, very good sign, actually. You know, a team like Legacy that are a bit more of the old vibes Counter-Strike, as we like to say. Yeah. Sometimes you can just get caught up when you're so far ahead and just get overconfident, as you would, as you might expect. Sure, we've all been there, even in our casual games, and then all of a sudden it's gone to overtime somehow, and everyone's tilted and annoyed, and you end up losing the game. So they're doing a very good job, I think, of, again, retaining that discipline. Lux with a wild one through the smoke, however. Meanwhile, Ultimate trying to be the guy right now. He opened up previously for Liquid and they managed to convert. He evens up here, so we'll see if that'll be enough for them.
I love that solo play, though. Really nice work. No, it's got the right idea. So actually now that Lato is throwing util. He's over! Oh, God, Lato. That is so quick. Nerds was trained on that angle for so long. He's still the 1-2 fall, and so will Ultimate. Shuhei, you've had a poor map. Now's the time to change it. Miss him. He will fall. Shuhei expect a second. Now he does. It's actually Lux with the bomb, no less, and he gets a dink, but it's not enough. And I think this might be curtains here. We call upon Naf once again as the only person we've called upon for Liquid throughout this map. He needs a 1 versus 3. He's smoked out as well, and Lux will hold for him and close. 13-6. What a run by Legacy. What a map on Liquid's map pick. We're going to throw it back to the boys on the desk. We'll see you soon.
Neo, you are absolutely right. 13-6 for Legacy on Mirage. Team Liquid's pick. What a story. Just incredible.
Let's go.
Welcome back in here to the CS Asia Championships 2025. We are on to Dust2 as Legacy gave us a pretty quick ride there on Mirage. Really, really incredible stuff from them. 12 rounds in a row until, of course, they did drop one, but they ultimately cleaned up house very easily. And now we move onto their pick as well of Dust2. So expecting big, big things from this Legacy side. Team Liquid, they were around for a little while, but they just disappeared all of a sudden and forgot how to play Counter-Strike, I guess.
Yeah, and there was sort of next to no showing from Ultimate, Nerds, and in particular Shuhei. In terms of numbers department, they really looked quite weak, and it was quite indicative of the performance, unfortunately, across the board. I think that comes through. It's tagged down low. I'm loving the loose T size that Legacy are bringing to the table. It's so fun to watch, but dumau is the first to fall. Elise spots another behind it as he drops down. And they did a bank round and soften up Sadzin. Just feeling a little better, though, in all fairness, from Liquid. They're wanting to fight and back themselves. Elise as well to get one in that situation. And Legacy, just bit by bit, they're being picked off here.
Yeah, pretty effective so far from Team Liquid. There will be some utility recovered to just feign presence. A jump down, though, is going to be heard. Both players as well. Naf to find Lato and to reposition to potentially cut off Nissim. Not going to be needed. Ultimate takes him down, and Ion flawless pistol for Team Liquid. They'll be very, very happy with that. You want to come in with the clean slate, and getting the pistol is a perfect way to do that.
Yeah, just kind of whatever, really, from Legacy, isn't it? It's very sort of laissez-faire in terms of their approach to that pistol. They're just hoping that Liquid overextend or Liquid try and overfight, but they're disciplined enough for that not to happen, especially off the back of the lessons they learned from Mirage. So, not exactly the way Legacy would have wanted to start after the way they just finished. Flashed out towards long. They're actually not committing to it. It's all a bit of a ruse as they go back towards mid. That's the bomb, but Ultimate will lose his head after getting the first. There's two players here, though, so Elise and Shuhei should have no issues breaking down this initial cap push. I say that, another dink that comes through. There's two low players on the same site, but they just don't have the firepower to really make the difference here, and it's now all on Sadzin. It's all well and good getting the damage, but you got to get those kills.
Yeah, that is frustrating for sure. Legacy will be kind of kicking themselves. They couldn't quite confirm one or two more kills. They will be ecoing this one out as well. So Team Liquid moving up to 3 pretty quickly. And I think for my money, looking like the Liquid at the start of Mirage rather than the end of Mirage. Much more competitive here and just, like I say, seemingly a little unaffected. And Shuhei well on the way to improving his performance here as he will hit 3 kills at the start of this round. Nertz with his trusty MP7. Oh, loses his head though. So just got to be careful. Don't want to give too much away to the Deagles.
Nice nade as well. Bit of extra chip damage on towards Sadzin. There's nothing really to be gained in a round like this for Legacy. But an extra consolation kill could long-term go a long way. Bomb recovered. It looks like they want to try an angle to finish towards that B site, but I mean, best of luck. You've got Naf on the site itself, and Elise not too far away. Well, Elise wasn't fantastic. They are the two best players from Liquid in that first map. Naf was actually pretty excellent. I'll give him credit. He was good all the way throughout. Elise started okay, but for about 75% of that map was also ever so slightly missing.
Yeah, it was strange, wasn't it? He was pretty firmly towards the top end of the Liquid scoreboard and then just stopped.
Fell off, yeah.
Very strange to see when that happens. Slow finish here, as just trying to find the cheeky headshots in the final dying embers of this third round. Not happening for Legacy as Lato finds himself to be the only man remaining. Down he will go. So far, so good from Team Liquid, but we await with bated breath what Legacy have got here, expecting, like I said, big things. Their pick, a really, really clean opening map, so we'll see what they have planned for this first rifle round.
Yeah. Pretty important as well to start strong. I mean, we saw they went 5-0 down in that first map. And well, only 13-6, of course, is good, but they like to get this start a lot earlier. Shui and Ultimate are going to join forces to take this upper B control. This is a good call from them at the moment. There's a lot of presence from Legacy here. Double mollies around the corner. They're trying to keep them at bay. Luke's going to swing through one flame, and he just about stays alive. This is a really janky upper B control that is sort of being taken here by Legacy, and Liquid doing enough to make life awkward as Shuhei finds dumau. 4th kill on the board for him. He's already matched his tally from Mirage here in round number 4, and he gets out, still yet to die.
dumau just didn't know how good he had it. I think he had slipped through without being heard. There's a lot of noise going on, a lot of comms. I think if he'd taken a slightly better angle, maybe could have had himself a kill there, but just went barreling in a little carefree and does not get the kill that was on the cards. 50 seconds left here for Legacy. This is a tough one. I think maybe there's something in the air. Begins with S, and they might be thinking about doing it if something doesn't go their way in the next few moments, and I think indeed it will work against them. Nissim gonna fall. Do you still want to commit here or just hold on to the AKs, in all honesty?
This is such a chaotic round. A wild start, and I don't think the finish is going to be any different. So much damage dealt. Sad's into 1 point of HP. Lux is 11. And Lato's also in that one tap position. This could still be a little bit funky because it's still sharp. Don't get me wrong. Lato thrust into a 1 versus 2. He just doesn't have the time. Doesn't have the time. And I guess to the best of Liquid in a sense, Naf was nowhere to be seen, so he couldn't fall by overfighting. Lato does get that kill up close, but it isn't good enough. Liquid 4-0 start. Very akin to the same start they had in that opening map. But Legacy looking a lot worse for wear here. They really are feeling quite uncomfortable on this T side.
Yeah, not a good start, and I think that they will kind of be disappointed in themselves that they ultimately brought it so close. If they just had an extra player to work with, right? Losing a few sloppy fights early on. This whole situation, as you so rightly pointed out, was just a mess. But timeout taken. Maybe they can do something with that and bring some life back to the T side. Just got to get that first one on the board. Very similar to Mirage.
Yeah, exactly. Out towards long. Double AK, triple tech 9. They're trying to barrel in towards B, but Ultimate's here as that last-ditch effort to deny them presence in towards their site. He'll reposition towards window. A missed shot from him. And Sad's now in a pretty good spot around this smoke, but they've got to be expecting it now. He tucks inside of that flash. 2 remaining. They're out as well. They'll break open the smoke, and Elise will punish Sad's in behind it. So Latta left with it all to do. A 1 versus 4 and absolutely 0 chance at recovering that C4. Is it even worthwhile saving? Probably not. You may as well just try and get some kills here. I'm surprised Shuhei can't hear this. Now he can.
There you go. Definitely has heard him. Will he get anything? The answer is no. I mean, this is where Legacy for me as well can get away from themselves if they're not careful. There's a bit more money spent in that round than maybe we would like. They're obviously going to go for something into this one, but I think that they try and just get away with some cheekiness, and it ultimately can cost them. It ultimately can be punished. So, yeah, Legacy have to catch this, or they might get a taste of their own medicine, really.
True. But let's not forget, Liquid started 5-0 up in towards Mirage. And then we saw how that one went. So I'm not going to completely count out Legacy just yet. It feels unlikely that that could happen twice, don't get me wrong, but we've seen it once already, so I'm going to give Legacy a bit of the benefit of the doubt, at least for now. However, if this gun round falls flat, then I start to ring the alarm bells just a tad. Flash over. Send dumau around with a molly on towards short box. They can get a bit of control here. They don't even need to use this. Just having short presence up close is going to keep attention drawn for Liquid.
Slow encroachment towards the A-bomb site here, and Liquid are pretty turtled up for this. Flash to feign some presence and just scare them back. Nade does decent damage, so looking good for Team Liquid as they continue to chip away at the attackers. Are they going to act upon these mid smokes, or is it a fake out? Does appear to be a fake out as Lux will slowly creep forwards, try and find a kill. Naf might give it to him if he's not careful. Oh, I do like this though. It's a cool idea, splitting in through CT, pushing their own smoke. The flash is good, however. Lurch from Goose needs dealing with. He will indeed go down, and Shuhei's like, where did this guy come from? Man advantage, it's slim, however, not the best look for Legacy to hold on to this post plant. Gonna need at least one more kill to start convincing us. dumau falls, and there is a chance now. Kit available for ultimate.
That feels really audacious from dumau, it has to be said. He's so low, but thankfully Nissim isn't. Gets that kill. Potential of an ult to be recovered here as well. It's all on the shoulders of Naf. Damage dealt towards Nissim, but I think if he can't win that fight immediately, the call to save is the smart one. I say that he's sticking around, and that'll be at the cost of his life. Oh, recovered by Sadson. He picked one up, and it's Legacy who get there first. So, in exactly the same fashion as map number 1, Liquid 5-0 start, and then Legacy finally break the deadlock. And we all know how that went in towards that previous map. It was 12 rounds in a row before Liquid finally got another on the board, only for the map to be immediately closed to follow it. Surely can't happen again, surely. Never say never.
Well, it would be quite a thing, but yes, I think Legacy, at the very least, have got potential to close this gap, right? If we keep it within the context of this map. Big round here. If they can crush the economy, make sure that nobody saves across. Lux on a contact move here. A lot of utility in trying to distract away once again, as he did in the previous round. Down goes Lato. Lux now has to be careful. Gotta get this right. Can't find the frag, but again, he's dipped in towards CT, and it just seems to be something that I think is really catching the CTs off guard. This time around, there's not quite as much coordination. What is Nissim doing? Why is he here? That wasn't part of the plan. That's not how it's supposed to go. But he's found key frags to make be a possibility, and they might just get away with it. The AWP on the retake, the man advantage. Liquid do not want to sniff here, not looking good.
Yeah, they shouldn't really even be looking in. Liquid, they do have money, but I just don't think it's worthwhile. You're not going to be able to pull off a retake on towards the B side, especially because it is the B side of Dust2. So Shuhei and Alige, no shell up and save. The M4 and the AWP. A pretty standard Legacy round in the sense that it's quite chaotic, but it's so crisp. Listen, those 2 kills he gets, such a big factor in what nets Legacy this second round on the board. And again, now we can start building back up in towards this game. You win this next round, you completely shatter the CT economy. dumau will go down to the bomb, but it is what it is. I do feel like if you're Liquid, you buy around this though. Shuhei drops the AWP, he buys a rifle. Alige can also drop one as well. And Naf's got enough money. So you try and make a round out of this, I assume. They're going to call a pause before committing to the proposed buy. It's one of those situations though, right? If Legacy are able to get a third in a row in the same exact vein as Mirage, you break the bank, funds run dry, and Legacy start really shifting in towards that 6th gear that they were so good at doing on Mirage. Once they got going and the snowball effect was on the way, Liquid could find absolutely no way of stopping them.
Yeah, well, I mean, we see it in the second round there for Legacy. just so much chaos, and that's maybe the element that they're trying to add into the concoction here. And it does seem to have worked in that previous round. If they can have a bit more of it, that would be a big deal as well. AK recovered. dumau going to take a tag. Oh, maybe if Nissim had the eyes, I think the fire got in the way and he couldn't find that spawn-based kill. So pretty solid stuff here, I'd say, for Liquid. Decent damage done, but they've also just, look at how far back. They have like no map control at all on the Legacy side. They've lost lower due to this. It's not really a good look for the Brazilians. Nissim somewhat aware, but how aware? Oh, of course, is the opportune question. They're a little half and half here, aren't they?
What are we doing?
Oh my goodness.
What?
I don't know what he's doing. I actually don't know what he's doing. I'm trying to think of like why he would be doing that.
Trying to bail him out a bit here.
Yeah.
But yeah, what are we actually doing? He's jumping around. Thankfully, Elite's going to find that kill on towards dumau. They still got the sight here, is the only issue. It's a great flash and jumping down. Lato so blind and now so dead. Sadsin up on high. Oh my god, Lux. What in God's name is that tap? Ultimate, we'll see in the next round. Lux looks for more, but he's blinded up. And it's all on the shoulders of Sadsin. The nade will see him off, but that is a commendable effort. College try coming through. And I need to see that Lux shot again. That is miraculous. If only they won the round. That is a highlight reel of a moment.
My jaw is on the floor, man. That was insane. But combined with this Nertz gymnastics or whatever he was doing over there, they still managed to lose the round. So they've had
what was that round?
two mental moments that are like just so inexplicable, and Liquid still taking it. So not quite sure what to make of that at all from top to bottom, to be honest with you. But Legacy are shut down. The all-important round for Liquid to keep them at bay, you know, and make sure they don't break the economy, close that gap. All these things that could have happened are now denied away. Legacy left reeling, left to figure it out. There's a push up middle here, Elige. Shaky, and they will bail. Ultimate, meanwhile, watching lower, but the flash is so damn good. Elige gets caught in the crossfire, and Legacy get themselves an advantage. The flash is good again, but maybe a bit too quick. Half a second too quick from dumau allows the trade to come in.
They're trying to reclaim the space. Nertz, if you win this fight on towards Nissim, the round should feel like it slots itself into place, and it does. That's really important. This is a bold move by Shuhei. I don't know if I love this. Behind the smoke, it's an orthodox, don't get me wrong, but as it fades, he is stuck. God, it doesn't work out for him. That does give maybe a bit of an opportunity. The issue is just the HP of Sadsin. And Lux isn't confident to cross with that bomb on his back, so it all goes to a brief pause here. One towards CT, one towards short, one Gandalf. It's a pretty good setup for Liquid.
Yeah, I would argue as well. Sadsin is just trying his best to find the angle. Giving him a lot of space. Make some noise now. Trying to distract away. Oh, 2 HP.
No.
Keeps going in for it. He's so unlucky. Meanwhile, Lux is in behind. Got some decent information to work with. Limited time, but there's nobody to stop him.
He's got time.
Oh, just about. I think if he'd even taken a bullet to slow down, it might have cost him the round, and now the panic sets in. Ultimately, he wanted to go, but it didn't quite have the window. Lux has reset the game in his favor, takes the low HP player, and it's a big shot from Ultimate. Lux has pulled it out of thin air to give Legacy the third round.
What a quad kill by him as well. Lux, luxurious in that round. What a play coming through from him. He had a second to spare on getting that bomb down. And he sticks in. Look what it does. Attack pause for Liquid. Left a little reeling off the back of that one. Oh my. Take another look as well. Full blind. What a shot by Ultimate. We saw it from the other side, but that is a nasty one. But look, he just does so well. Like we said, a quad clutch for him, and that missed shot by Ultimate. Exactly. They're hyped. And too damn right. Still, only a third round, though, for Legacy. Still a lot more that needs to be done. It's not a good start.
It is not. Nerds, however, will be traded back. As the Mexican standoff of just holding mouse 1 might give the T side a little bit of control to work with here. Meanwhile, a overconfident push through the smoke. Listen, we know you've just clutched, but that doesn't mean that you can get away with everything. Man advantage for Team Liquid is pretty good. Given weaker weaponry, they've managed to recover a slightly stronger weapon for NAF as well. So you maybe do start to worry. An off angle here from Elise. Shadow spotted! Yes, sir.
Of course.
That's what he does. And it's Sadsin alone against the world. No bomb in hand. What is going on with some of these shots, man? Still got quite a lot more to do before he's able to take this. But we are seeing some pretty good individual prowess on display here on Dust2.
I'm not going to discount him just yet. It's just whether he can get to a position of recovering that bomb. But it's only Shuhei in the close fight. Shuhei's alone here. If you can win this one cleanly, I mean, I say that. You got to win it first, and Shuhei will see him off. Bodies stacked as rounds start to stack for Liquid. Now guaranteed lead at the turn of the half. But it's Elish. That round is all on his shoulders. Those 2 shots. I mean, there's definitely a question mark about Lux there, but these 2 are just sumptuous by Elish. That's what we want to see. The Lux mistake is pretty bad. I think this...
Good job, John.
Big sort of overconfidence there, I think, from Lux, where, you know, it's just a fantastic round. I'm going to try something on my own.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's
pushing a smoke at any point, like, why?
Yeah, just crazy, especially out towards B. But here we go. They're going to try and give it a go with the rush here. Nerds hidden away in towards Closet, looking good. And he stays alive. I think buys enough time there. It looked a little dire. A very quick trade onto that opening player, but Nerds does very, very well. 8 rounds for Team Liquid now, so Legacy indeed getting a taste of their own medicine. This is what the domination can feel like.
Yeah, exactly. This is really good from Liquid. Even if it ends at just 8, that's still a fantastic half of Counter-Strike. But with the buy that we're seeing out from Legacy, they force bought in towards the previous, they force buy here in towards the last of the half. If Liquid find 9, Legacy's chances to get it back into this are unbelievably slim. It's up close. We'll get tested in a minute. There's a lot of bodies on this corner, but a molly. It's going to make life awkward. Drops a flash. He's trying to get out. And he sells the fake. Yeah.
It's all a ruse. He wants to stick around. Nade is good. Now he will get out, so not rushing the fact. And catches one on the way out with him. I mean, well played by Nerds. Keeps his cool. Not going to go down early and, in fact, gives him the advantage.
Corner smoke thrown. Give them the opportunity to lurk out if they want. Displace AWPers if there is any posted. Elish has spotted one. And I think the smart call here by Elish to take a bit of a step back. He's not alone towards A, but he doesn't want to leave. Holds a bit on his own as he has the AWP. And speaking of, that AWP comes alive as dumau caught. At 9th is looking pretty good for Liquid at the moment. Flashes towards B as they start to make their way out, but NAF back sight. Good for 1. Looks for a second as well. Backplat is always so damn difficult to clear. 5-7 pulled out to close as NAF nails his 3rd. A 9-3 half for Liquid. Much, much better than what we saw in their map pick of Mirage. And unfortunately, Legacy have... well, we've kind of lost them. They're nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, relying on a clutch moment as well from Lux to get one of their 3 rounds.
Yeah.
So always something that we get excited about in the moment, but when you take a deeper look at it, it's not a good sign for the team at large. But we'll see here if they can change things on the flip side. As you so rightly pointed out, an 8-4 would have been a pretty big deal. If they could have picked up some momentum off the back of the clutch, it could have been a big deal. But unfortunately, it doesn't happen for them. So Liquid, their map to lose now. Looking to stay alive here and looking to, of course, secure that early semi-final spot.
See, and where we're at really has that feeling that map 3 is going to be required for those who've only joined us midway through. Our decider is Inferno. As the age-old moniker goes, all good best of 3s are decided there, and well, this one might have to be as well. At the moment, very much looking likely, and especially if Liquid can find a pistol. Double nade in towards suicide, and well, bye-bye Shuhei.
All right.
A simple $600 investment across 2 players, and an opening kill without taking a point of damage.
I'm a fan. Big fan of that. Works out massively. They're able to, you know, fully drop back, and Liquid are thrown for a loop. Naf on the spot. Nothing he can get done on the backside. This is a great position as well to have in the pistol. Looks with some info gathered. Things looking pretty good for Legacy, I have to say, but can they make it work? Can they convert it into a must-win pistol round here? All going to be out towards long for Team Liquid.
Okay. A group up. There's 3 players on that CT side ready to greet them. Flash over smoke to come down as well. Sadzin wanted to try and meet them before it plumes, but he gets dinked. The dualies of dumau probably have to do a lot of the heavy lifting in this round. As down goes his comrade, Sadzin will fall. He's desperately trying to play around the boxes. He might be given the luxury of a reload, but he pulls out the USP. Oh, and he gets both kills as well. dumau does so well under the pressure of that situation. Picks up a pistol and gets another.
Yeah, should have had the USP the whole time, to be honest. Looked a bit cleaner for him in the end. Legacy, though, as I said, must win. They do indeed get it. It's a bit of work, and I mean, Liquid as well probably could have closed the gap a bit better onto the site, but not the way it pans out. So we'll see here. There will be some worry, I think, for the Liquid side of things, as they know the capability of the streaks here from Legacy.
Oh, it's close.
Somehow a missed shot. Landed in the wall. Bullets maybe phased through him. Looking for this opening kill, which is certainly possible with the scout. The lack of armor, of course, for Liquid. So just trying to find number 1 to ease some pressure.
Interesting nade. There we go. Catch the lead.
Okay.
Oh, catches Shuhei as well. Naf is low. Tag down to 32. Nade. The nade will find Nerds, and it opens the smoke for Lato to punish. So this round is very, very abruptly denied of really any solid chances of it being converted for Liquid. Down to 2, with one of which Naf, the Deagle, having 32 points of HP. Ultimate only got a Glock. And a double stack here. It's so difficult to deal with. Naf tagged down to 1. Lucky, a fortunate man, and he gets a kill as well before falling. Insult to injury for dumau, who tagged him earlier. But it won't make a difference. Ultimate, he's dead to rights. And they can happily play time. Locks it off. Legacy find a 5th. Slowly but surely doing the right things. And in a deficit like this, if you are Legacy, you can only approach it 1 round at a time. Can't look long-term on a comeback like of this regard. That's required. Take a look at the 2 quick shots as well. Beauties from Sadzin. Really nicely done. And Legacy in towards the second tag pause. I don't mind this tag pause, right? You know there's a fullback coming in, and you know the importance of it. You find this round here for Legacy, it really becomes a doable game once again.
Yep. Start denying some bomb plants away. And just getting dominant rounds like you were. on Mirage. Oh, he's gone. Bring it back. But yes, indeed, I think there's a lot on the horizon here for Legacy if they can play this correctly. But massive amounts of pressure, I think, on them to really start delivering. And Liquid have looked very good. The pistol is a different beast to these opening rifle rounds.
Oh.
Elige will give us the first as well, making it look oh so simple, and it comes very, very fast. So quick adjustments from Legacy going to be required. They pushed into long. Not sure how we feel about this.
dumau's taking doors control via long, but he's going to fall back. So Liquid have got good map control. They're slowly starting to posture towards that A site. Oh, we're short they come, and it really is quite heavily reliant on Sadzin. He'll drop a nade, but not before Nerds gets out of dodge. And this 4 versus 5, this is a difficult predicament for Legacy. Somebody's seriously got to step up with a multi-kill as Lato rejoin this deep A position. There's 3 players here to meet them. That's a much better nade, but Lato still falls. The car player who's spotted. They also know as well there's another lurking around, but the long play starts to come through. Sadzin will tuck his head. He could potentially line up a couple here. There's one, but a quick trade, A site taken, and unfortunately for Nissim, I can't see a world he wins this in the 1 versus 3.
Yeah, just a lot of panic, I think. A lot of nades in hand. Oh, wait a minute. Nissim might just be able to make a way in.
Spotted.
Spots out another player, brings it down to the one-on-one. Naf quaking in his boots here as Nissim has somehow got it over the line. Oh, I don't believe it. Could be a huge moment for Legacy. They look so flat, players getting caught, but Nissim bails them out. It is never over until it's over. And we might look back to this moment as being the reason why Legacy got the 2-0.
Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. So well done by Nissim. That one towards Elige is difficult, but it's just the know-it-all to find Naf.
And no
Stoic as ever. Stoic as
just
ever.
another day at the office.
Yeah, average round for him. That'll force Liquid in towards their 3rd and final attack pause. But what a round indeed. You can see where the streaks have come in this game. And of course, it's primarily been all about the CT sides, right? T-side has been and was lackluster for Legacy and so far non-existent for Liquid. That felt like it should have been the round as well. How much of a knock-on effect will that 1 versus 3 have? We'll have to wait and see. But Liquid can buy back in. But it's a quad Galil investment to facilitate utility coming through. 1 AK in the hands of Elige. And he puts that AK into good work for the opener. Dumau, first 2 fours, having a much quieter game for him. 7 and 15. One of the big names of Legacy is very, very quiet at the moment. So Lux got to pull off something. Need to break open that smoke as well. And there's a lot of damage, but they're getting up in towards ramp. Lux in a bit of trouble here. He needs somebody to support, or maybe he doesn't. Molly down. He tries to fight behind. Shue will catch, and Nissim gets so unfortunate not to get a kill. It's all on Lato. He's had some monster moments, but this is surely too big of a loss. Surely not another clutch.
It's doable, though, isn't it? It's doable. The HP bars, man. It really is. He knows something's up towards short, but Nerds is quick with it. And man alive, this A-hold from Legacy is so weak right now, honestly. There's so many bodies there. They just somehow couldn't make it work. I mean, again, there's a bit of over-facing. I think we might catch the Lux kill in here, and he just kept running forwards. Needs to draw them in. Needs to wait for the support. Look at what's coming up from the short boxes, you know? Just work with that, but they're very, very panicky. You won the round, guy. Relax, you won the round. Don't worry about it.
That's right. A little laugh afterwards. You realise it was all for nothing.
He knows he's going to be on camera, that's why.
Yeah.
You know, we always get those these days.
Free content over here. Immediate upper B control taken. I kind of love this move from Legacy. It forces Liquid into a pincer, which they don't want to take. The only thing with Sadson, he's got to be very careful about the suicide player. Oh my god, yeah, I don't like that move from Sadson. Not with that weapon.
It's pretty wacky for sure. I think a round that you're not necessarily expecting too much out from Legacy. Feels like a overextension in terms of the finances as well. Oh, we'll see here. A lead. Oh, gotta be careful, yes. A jump scare as Lato appears from behind the pillar. But again, the kill comes in, the stronger weaponry benefiting Team Liquid pretty heavily here.
I feel like you get to a point as well, potentially if they do just go in towards A, just save. You've put so much into towards this round in terms of investment. They actually are going for that split though. Smoke down, 5-7 up close, can be difficult to deal with. dumau gets one, and he actually manages to tuck himself around the corner. Nerds, he does check it, but it's not enough. Naf for one, Lux for the trade, but that's a great shot and a combination play by Elysian Ultimate. As Liquid find 11. All right. Doing enough to bridge a notable gap over Legacy. And really now open the door to that map number 3. Inferno being the decider. Legacy are getting close in some of these moments, but unfortunately it's just not close enough.
Yeah. And of course Liquid doing very, very well to not let the clutch that slipped away from them to affect them too much. They've not let it spiral, as can happen in those big individual moments. And now we have the hard eco from Legacy. 5 over towards A. Just gonna send themselves in here and see what they can find. They do catch a few players lacking ammo towards the end of the exchange, but ultimately looks good. Shuhei to finish it off. 6 in a row now going to be required from Legacy. They'll have a strong buy, but this is ultimately a rinse and repeat, a vice versa of that first map. You just don't believe in the comeback here.
No, not at all. Legacy have looked very weak on their map pick. And credit to Liquid, a much, much better showing. Way more like what we expect of this Liquid side, who you'd make the argument, so I had to be considered the kind of the favorites coming in towards this matchup. Sure, Legacy's recent form has been great. The wins they've picked up have been fantastic too, but just the on paper. A new look Liquid. Malige back in the fray. A last chance at survival in this map. Door smoke that comes through. Gosh, Shuhei. Very lucky. One more bullet and he could have been a dead man there. He gets tagged down very low.
He does indeed. Unconfirmed damage at the moment, but it will come back to play a part later on in the round, I am sure. More of a B-lean here from Legacy. Expecting an attack that way, but I don't know that it's necessarily going to come. The burst up short. Sometimes you never know if they're fully committing, but in this case they most certainly are, and it would be the right place to go. Sadsin unscopes at an inopportune moment, so they will make it across. They can't thin the numbers before the bomb goes down. Sadsin, however, sticking around and looking good.
Wow.
Naf, head on a swivel, and he spins the heads of Legacy, I'm sure. 2 versus 2, though. Just before that bomb goes down, Nissim is known about. Lato, not so much. Might be able to get the catch. It's a quick 1-for-1. Ultimate somehow stays alive. He's got the AWP for the quick shot here, and he's absolutely going to get it. Liquid take us to a third.
Great job there by Team Liquid. Truly bouncing back in style. 13-6 on Dust2, which was Legacy's pick. Prof Dust, how impressed are you by that Liquid performance?
Really impressed. I mean, it.
Stop.
We're going the distance here. As the age-old moniker says, all good best of threes are decided on Inferno. And that's where we head for our map number 3 here between Legacy and Liquid. Now, both of these sides have already booked spots in towards the playoffs, but this is all for seeding. Winner of essentially now a best of 1 on Inferno decides who goes directly to the semi-finals. So it's all to play for, and Sadzin starts well. What a shot on towards Nerds. And we're looking to see if we can revitalize Legacy off the back of a pretty poor map number 2, Harvey.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we've seen some really dire showings for both of these teams, to be honest with you, and some very, very poor isolated rounds as well. So Inferno, we hope is close. We hope is competitive. The pistols so far looking good from the Brazilians. Quick boost up here as the bomb gets planted. Not going to all be considered. Jumps are going a bit early, but dumau still manages to make it work. Shuhei and Ultimate left to deal with this post plant. Banana is completely clear. So that is something that works in favor of Shuhei here, and they're trying to just group up and work together. P250 in play, of course. A lot of footsteps going to be heard in towards Coffin. Shuhei not ready for the next. Oh! dumau, how do you not get that kill? How do you not get that kill? Shuhei, though, absolutely capitalizes with a 4-piece on the Glock.
Same amount of kills in that round as he got in the entirety of map number 1. Shuhei's back. What a round coming through from the IGL. What a time to step up. How in God's name does he get away with isolating those fights? He does so well. A jumping kill, a 180, and a quad in total. What a way to set the tone here in map number 3. That is a monster moment coming through from him. And we're looking for more of that throughout this map. Liquid would love to go automatically through to that semi-final. But yeah, that is so well played. They had no right to win that, but a Mag 7 up close. Don't test dumau. Also, money to be made there for dumau as well if they continue to run up Banana.
Big chunky nade. This actually looks pretty decent for Legacy. See what the response from Team Liquid is. They're going to stick around in Banana. Plenty of utility to go at, but it's the HP bars that worry me.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a player on the move as well for Legacy. Well-timed smoke. They have fantastic read on the sense of timing. Still looking to go for the B play, though, are Liquid.
I'm worried, dude. I'm so worried here. Oh, no, there's a 4th player coming over. This could be a bloodbath towards B. Double stack orange. It looked like they were setting up for the boost, but they opt against it. Mag 7 up close, misses that one. But they swing in. Sadzin gets 2. Will they expect more bodies here? The answer is no. As Nissim and Lato combine, it's only 2 casualties for Legacy. That's a really good force buy round.
Smart moves from Nissim, honestly. I thought for a moment it was going to be, you know, the fact that we had like 2 mags involved was going to cost Legacy. But Nissim plays it very, very well indeed. To just kind of, indeed, sell his teammates down the river, but get in there at the opportune moment. So, Liquid going to be kicking themselves. A really hard-fought pistol by the Shuhei clutch goes south. And we spend a lot of time, I think, in the games that we do together talking about situations like this, where it's like, is the winning of the force buy arguably a little bit better than winning the pistol? Because that T economy is just going to be in the bin. If they can deny bomb plants away as well, Legacy have a really good chance of controlling this early portion of the game.
And I'd say so. I feel like winning the force buy is more important than winning the pistol itself. It just gives you a little bit more scope to kind of scale into the start of a map or the start of a half. And we're sort of seeing that here. You know, Liquid are forced into a buy that they don't really want to be going for because they're in double eco situation. And well, it's easy fights that can be won by Legacy. I think that comes through on towards Lato. So one has crossed, but Lux holds the pixel angle. Shuhei bomb on his back. He should fall momentarily, but he doesn't because the Deagle connects once again. His pistol's looking pretty clean. We'll give him that. Let's see if we can get another behind it. Right idea. And not so much the right execution. Legacy take the lead, and it should be extended further as well as Liquid's money runs dry. So hence where we come back to what we were saying about, is it more important to win the force of the pistol? And the argument for Force is sort of here, right? As long as you can convert the following response, you're absolutely fine.
Few nades brought up here by Team Liquid. Maybe get them all stacked towards Car. There was 3, but down to just 2. So try and create a kill early on in the round, but there's no one making that quick move towards the Car. So not going to have the desired effect, and I think with that, this round fizzles out, he says. A quick dink from Nerds does make it slightly more interesting, but I think against this kind of weaponry, it should be absolutely fine. So Legacy going to start flying, and I think as we've seen in this series, they really are a team that work on the momentum and just the general energy of the team. So the fact that they're able to get off to a good start and win out a Force buy, few cheers, few nices is obviously going to make all the difference for these guys.
The big worry as well, I think, for Liquid is if you allow Legacy to start really getting fired up, that's when they play their best CS, right? We've seen it happen time and time again. We saw it happen with that kind of rampant run they made in map number 1. When Legacy start getting super loud and really kind of fired up, the momentum starts to swing so heavily in their favor. It's, of course, a bit of a nothing round. It's Constellation kills is really all that Liquid are looking for. And Sadson will close it, for the most part, pretty effortlessly. 2 kills for him, 2 for Lato, 1 for dumau. Simple stuff for a flawless third for the Brazilians. Now's the true test. The buy back in for Liquid. Premium rifles for the most part. There's 2 Galils that come into play for Nerds and Ultimate as they prioritize the utility. Probably a bit of a heads-up play as well. Need it, especially in towards those post plants. Leave a little bit in spawn as well.
Damn, that's the bottle flip standing up flash. That's crazy. Early utility down Banana. There's not that much presence from Liquid. Don't really want to fight it that heavily. Pretty conventional round here as they just move very, very slowly. Slight bit of a look towards mid. They are going to make it up into the apartment silently here, so curious as to how this goes because the setup from Legacy is somewhat unconventional.
I love this hold.
Could be big.
Don't fall away. Don't turn away. No. Oh, they had just stood there for, what, an extra second? They probably get both of those kills. But they start retracting, and that's where, on the back pedal, they get caught.
Difficult to watch. And looks, that's also difficult to watch. The spray down is just not there for him. Caught completely on an island. And it is sinking. Bomb plant comes in. dumau and Lato to save. Team Liquid back on the board as soon as they stabilize that economy.
Yeah, it really comes down to that apps play. It's a bit of an inherent gamble going for that apps play because if it's a 4 flat, as we saw, it's such an easy run then in towards the A site, but I really do think they get quite unfortunate. They stand tall for an extra second or 2. I feel like it's a pretty simple kind of closeout there. Well, that's how the cookie crumbles. Liquid respond well back in towards the investments and back to their winning ways. With only the 1 casualty too, you're pretty damn happy about that. And no real call to hunt either, which is definitely the smart call for Legacy. Just sit on the cash that you've got, especially on that CT side. It's very easy for it to thin out at a rapid pace. You still got a lead, you still got a tiny bit of breathing room. Sure, you're in arm's reach, but the reinvestment can come back through. Open play for Sadson? Yes. So that's brought to the table. And the full buy alongside. I like what they were trying their Legacy. That bit of an unorthodox play. It's a good way to make Liquid feel uncomfortable. It's something that's going to make them always having to think in places where they traditionally sort of can potentially turn their brain off a little bit. Now they have to be super aware there's going to be a couple of gimmicks floating around, like this one, for example.
Yep, absolutely here for that. If they are going to get creative on the CT side of Inferno, I think we would enjoy that. Makes it a more pleasurable watch, let's say.
Because this map is garbage.
Hey, you said it, man. You said it. dumau.
I know that people agree with me.
Yeah, this is the thing. You know, there's no real arguments. To be honest, the chat probably got there before you did. Shuhei left very, very low. Could become problematic. Everybody pretty much shaped up in towards this B hit. They're going to send it through the smoke. It seems like they will. dumau also doing the same. Takes down the low HP Shuhei. It's Lato to fall easily at the back end of the site as well. So man advantage, Team Liquid around. Team Liquid, Legacy want nothing to do with this.
I think that's the right call. There's just no way they're going to get back in towards this site. I think the big fight is actually that Nert's kill on towards Lato, right? Lato, sure, dumau's coming through the smoke, so his one and done is sort of expected there, but Lato, you're needing to buy time and actually probably get a kill before falling, and he can't do either of those two things. He's open. He's sort of exposed between New Box and Pillar. And it's a great swing from Nert's. Really well done. I'm not too sure whether really Lato was full blind as to why he was stuck in that no man's land. But he gives Liquid a run in. They tied this game up. Good work. Legacy, it's all well and good that you got the force, but we need to be converting some of these just traditional gun rounds.
Yes.
And so far, they've actually looked quite weak.
Yeah, it is, of course, what Counter-Strike's all about. But indeed, I think the holds themselves, the ideas, not bad. But this is something that we saw pretty massively from them on D2.
Yeah.
Just a lack of individual prowess. You know, there was a lot of rounds on Dust2 that looked good. They were set up well. There's enough bodies here. They got the read, and they just weren't winning the heads-up fights. So if that creeps back in, if Liquid are able to outgun them once again, you know, if you take CS down to its bare bones, that is a lot of what it is about. So they're going to have their work cut out for them if they can't match up. There's some very awkward movements here in Banana. Nertz is low and alone, and somehow still alive. I saw a little nade on the minimap. I thought it was going to be a HE, but not the case. Shuhei, meanwhile, contacting up through middle. Sadzin is drawn in and finished off. That'll be yet another save for Legacy.
That's such a feeble A-hold as well. You've got two players playing in towards short. One boosted on Balk, one holding in towards Boiler. And it's so easy to isolate. That's the one thing you can't allow to happen. If you're playing a double short stack and you've got no long presence, you have to be able to play off each other and trade each other, not be isolated as easily as Legacy are. So really well done by Liquid, but for Legacy, that's quite a damning way to lose that round. And yeah, another save to come through for Legacy. Hence why this is the worst map in the pool. Because James has ruined our beautiful game.
Oh, it's Dust2 though, man.
Nah, there's no way. There's no way you can say Dust2's worse than the save meta of Inferno.
Sometimes when you get a game like this, I can understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, but this is most games, though, you know what I mean? At pro level, just min-maxing is percentage-based Counter-Strike.
But Dust just feels like I can watch any teams play it, and it's just going to be the same every single time. like you know, if you hid the names, it'd be difficult for me to tell you who's playing.
Okay, I can give you that.
Yeah. Inferno still has a tiny bit of nuance. At least there's a couple
the nuance
different A executes. You know, I suppose it depends on like what side you find a bit more interesting to watch. I enjoy the T side and what goes on there, the nuance of like timings. It sounds like you maybe enjoy the CT side a bit more and want to see them get creative.
Yeah.
But you just can't on Inferno.
Which is actually sort of one of the reasons I don't mind Dust2, as much as I do think it's one of the like worser maps in the pool. I like when you see teams do really decent proactivity on the CT side. That's quite exciting to me when I see them kind of figure out ways to get aggressive and to re-aggress and to get proactive and get up in the face of the T side. I think Dust is a good map. And it's quite indicative. If you see a really good proactive CT side, it's normally a good sign that they do have good protocols for the map. But Inferno, always been the bane. Bring back cash, as the people say.
Hey, I've heard...
We can agree on that.
I've heard maybe. No, we'll see. We'll see.
Or Rogue take here, maybe Rogue, but how about a new map? Like a completely new map.
Could be a good shout. I just feel like when they've done a few new maps, they've not incorporated them super well, to be honest. So we've got to do it right. We will indeed. The hit in towards B has picked up, and dumau falls completely flat. And you know, I may be coming around because it's going to be another save.
Yeah, you're starting to get my drift there a little bit, right? This is what I'm saying. Unfortunately, the second that bomb goes down, 9 times out of 10, you just can't make a feasible argument of why we should be giving this a go. And it's actually quite damning now when you look at Legacy, because their initial fights that we've seen in the last 3 rounds are actually really quite poor, right? We look at the previous round with that A short setup was really, really weak. This time, it's just one simple kill on towards dumau, and he falls, and that's it. And this is a bit more of a standard setup by Legacy, kind of 4 leading in the direction of A. You leave 1 as a B anchor, but it's too simple. Lux trying to save, but he loses his head. Sadzin will get his, and thankfully Lato reacts on towards Nertz. But another save that comes through, and another round for Liquid. They find their 5th. A bit of breathing room now starting to build for the T side. But I guess with the CT side, despite the losses, because of the saves, you just constantly got money on deck. Some people can drop over and it's fine. I feel like now for Legacy, we've actually we kind of have to start getting a little bit more aggressive though. I want to see, you know, just as I was talking about the proactivity on Dust2, I want to see it here now Inferno. Not even so much the gimmicks, but take early banana control, which actually looks like they are doing. Double mollies coming down as well. Smoke to split the 2 mollies. Put pressure on a nade behind it. This is more like it. Start getting up in their face. Don't let them take it for free. Ultimate. Wallbang through the smoke catches dumau. That's just unlucky.
The nade damage is crazy, though. The nade damage is absolutely crazy. So we'll see if Legacy can capitalize on it. It's a very, very loose advantage here. The B bomb site again, though, going to be abandoned.
He's alone as well.
With the AWP.
Yeah.
Which, if the burst is right, it's going to be hard for him to get multiple kills. Hard for him to stay alive. Sending the feelers out there, though, our Team Liquid. See what they can get away with here. It does seem like the bomb wants to go towards A, and, well, Shuhei makes some noise. Not fully committing just yet. And this is where the majority of the defense is for Legacy. Certainly a fan of how they're set up. Try and, again, draw them in. They're not biting. They're not biting. They are fully committed to this A play, and they would indeed be correct. Sadzin even finds his kill on the other side of the map, so it might be a bit easier for him to join. A well-timed short smoke makes life very difficult indeed for Team Liquid, but they've got to go. There's not much time left. The trades are here. It's Lux in towards Mini Pit. It's going to be a problem, but he's not ready for ultimate on the site. And you know what? Liquid have done a great job of breaking in. The setup looks solid, but they will get away with it.
And you know what's going to happen again?
Yeah, but come on.
No, it's fine.
Leave him alone. It makes sense here.
I can't blame him.
I feel like I'm becoming an Inferno apologist, though.
Yeah, I feel like you are. But I think you're right. Liquid do really well in that round. It really wasn't looking pretty for a second. Ultimate, it's a good round for him. He opens things up quite nicely, but that second he gets super important just to give Liquid a bit of breathing room in towards the A side. It's quite a decent stack that they had to break down. As 3 players sort of in a bit of a line there. It's not the easiest fights, but a couple of rightly placed flashes do a hell of a lot of lifting. Liquid did look in for the hunt as well. I don't think they get close enough, though, to Sadzin. So 6-3. Now 5 in a row for Team Liquid as well. That is, yeah, it's a monstrous shot, but it's a great round, all in all, right? Naf kick starts things as he contacts out through balcony, and it's just about playing the trades here, right? It's about playing the numbers. It's a 4 versus 3 on that execute in towards the A site, and they do well. Legacy, we're getting into a very dangerous territory here. And we're actually getting to the point now as well where, as this half starts to progress, we have to start weighing up the options of, do we actually give these 1v2s a bit of a go?
Yes, that is true,
these
actually.
2v3s, you know, these kind of spots. Do we take the gamble?
Concede so easily. Oh, nice flashes. Another one as well. Doesn't quite blind up Shuhei, so this time around, he's able to help out. Gets a bit aggressive, though. Certainly an overzealous move. Bold is a nice way of putting it. And he will go down. So, Legacy, another round that looks doable for them. And again, if they can't convert all these different types of scenarios, I think we really worry for their CT side.
Nafi had really good success in that lurk out from Bark in the previous round. And then rather than the previous round where it was a 1-3 split, this time Legacy are playing a 2-2 split, but it helps in Sads and hits that shot and gets out alive too. Liquid now into a 2 versus 4. Really difficult round for them to convert. The hardest round they've had to convert so far. See if they can. It helps when the shot's missed by the orb. Elige for 1, looks for 2, which he nails. Okay, life left in this round just yet. 30 seconds to get this bomb down on a Moto smoke. Actually has a pretty big gap in it, but it's re-smoked, which is the main thing. Oh, Lato spams through. So it's all on the shoulders. Oh, the new man back in this side. Elige has got to go huge, but he doesn't think about the flank. It's Lato who sees it off. And it's Legacy who finally, for the first time in 5 rounds, first time in 6 played, get one on the board.
Very, very lucky, I think, that the kill through the smoke comes in.
Yeah.
That first one, at least. So they will indeed be thanking the gods of Counter-Strike for that one. Liquid, though, still have a good position, still bring the numbers down low enough that I think they'll be happy with the damage that they've done. Yeah, I mean, pretty crazy stuff, but you'll take the kills wherever they come at this point. Legacy have got to close this gap.
No banana presence at all early for Liquid because they're all focused on apartments. Oh, that is a bold move by Naf. I mean, Elige's move was bold as well, but he gets away with it. Shuhei then fall to Lux. And with barely any time gone in this round, Liquid are left down to 2. That's an ultimate. Have to save them from a bit of an embarrassing one here in round number 11. Lux has spotted one in towards mid. Ultimate's not got a gun. Now he does. He dropped the orb. I thought he dropped it to pick something up, but no. He does recover that AK, but 2 versus 4. With 3 players in the direction of A, this should be impossible to win.
You'd think so. Yeah, I mean, they were given a lot of space. I had a bit of hope that they might be able to catch a player or 2 off guard. Not going to happen. It's actually the reverse. So Legacy closing the gap. It might look a bit rough in the middle of the half, but ultimately, if they can bring this to a 6-6 scoreline, I don't think they will be all that bothered about how it happens.
True.
Liquid were in prime position to be knocking on the door to double digits heading into that second half, but
yeah,
they now are the ones that are maybe letting things slip up.
Final round of play here in this first half. Early banana aggression once again. dumau does well. And he'll reposition on towards half wall. His feet are still singed by the flames as he falls to the hands of Nerds. Numbers in favor of Legacy, but Naf makes a move, and it's a move in which he'll get away with for now. He is in behind enemy lines, and this round all hinges on the shoulders of the vet. Naf makes or breaks round number 12 here for Liquid as he gets in behind. Smoke comes down towards CT. They're never going to expect him here. Oh, and he plays patience. This is the right call, but he loses him in the smoke. Uh-oh. Does it actually now work against him? If he wraps it towards Coffin, he could potentially line up both here. He's just got to wait and hope that nobody falls on towards Liquid. Play time. Nissim's got Yuto on hand. He could get both here. Here's the first and the second. There they are. Naf. Brilliant from him. Single-handedly should have won this round for Liquid. Legacy, this is a difficult retake they've now got to pull off with an AWP in play.
So far away from this one as well, so there's just going to be plenty of time for Liquid to set up and get a good idea of what's happening here. They've got eyes down Banana as well. Tiny bit of utility available that could do some damage or force a player out into the open, but it's just not looking likely. Naf hidden away. He wants to win the round all by himself here, and he will do just that. Liquid have their lead moving into the second half, deservedly so, as they look far more consistent on the rifles.
Bit of prime Naf there as well to close out the half. That's what we want to see from Liquid. Really, really nice shot. And credit to Nerds and Elige. They've just got to play patient there. The whole thing is they cannot afford to fall. You've got to keep attention drawn towards Banana. It's sort of a fine margin there. Keep attention drawn, but don't die. Don't get spammed through a smoke. Don't fall for nothing because it makes the late part of this round much harder. settles it with a beauty.
Good job. Good fucking round, boys.
Ever so slight smirk coming through. Just a hint of emotion from the stoic man himself, but it's a fantastic round. excl, as they said, had a pretty good half, all things considered, for Liquid. 7-5, you're, for the most part, pretty happy with that. I think the only thing we can say in a kind of a bad note is, in a way, there was one point where we thought it actually would have been even more of a lead.
Sure. I feel like there's one round in there that they potentially could have converted to give them the 8-4, but they will take it step by step. You have to look at the round that is ahead of you, really, and sort of ignore the scoreline as best you possibly can.
Let's see, a very important pistol for Legacy. You lose this and things start to get very, very dicey. Time starts to run out. Granted, not quite the stakes of tournament life on the line, but getting a free pass all the way to the semis would be lovely.
Slow creep up banana here. Could be perfect for Legacy. Now, we'd love them to perhaps contact in, because there is only the one player here for Liquid. But the utility potentially going to give them away. We'll see how fast the rotations are. We'll see, of course, what Ultimate can do. In comes the utility. They move ahead quickly. The flashes are good. And the headshot's even better. So with a kill like that, it becomes very, very difficult now for Team Liquid to really compete into the remainder of this round. No kit available. As the bomb goes down, I think they may well, move away and... Oh no, hold on. I'm pretty sure Naf wanted to move away, but it seems like Elige leading the charge. No more saving. Saving is dead. Saving is done. That could, be a good omen for the half, but we'll see if they can win the round itself. Flash comes over. Julie's in hand here. The lack of kit really becomes a problem now. The lack of kills is a far bigger problem, however.
dumau and Nissim, so well done. dumau survives with 1 point of HP as well. But a really nice post-spawn coming through. I am sort of surprised that Liquid even give it a look in towards the end. They don't have a kit. They barely have any time. They would have had to run straight on towards the site and get the kills immediately and get somebody sticking on that bomb at the same exact time. It was asking a hell of a lot. That's it. We spoke about this earlier. Legacy start to get fired up. Things start to get a little worrying. They're really good when they start to get loud and proud about their Counter-Strike, and that snowball effect starts to take place. Like, we've got to be careful. They go for the Force. 1 MP9, few greater pistols. Fair decent amount of util, to be fair, as well.
The show of the smokes, though, I think does depict that they are going to be fully committing towards this 4-man A play for as long as they possibly can. Molotov forces Shuhei away, will go down. They're going to burst in here. Oh, Lato has missed his mark. In comes the balcony player, however, and Nissim saves the day. It's close for a second there. If they had been more prepared for Balk, maybe a different round. Nerds could drop the bomb here. Hold on.
Yeah.
We're not done just yet. I mean, they throw it up middle. I don't know what is going on. The bomb is technically dropped. So he kind of has control of the situation. This
4 bullets
is not looking good, but unfortunately, Nissim's got a much better gun, much more ammo left in the magazine. And another save of the day from Nissim, actually. So there you are. Pay him his flowers.
Bit of kind of bated breath there for a second. Just had to wait, The bomb was dropped right at his feet. You got one player who falls away under, and then it's like, okay, we've actually given him time to set up a little bit. And with a 5-7, I've seen some highlight moments. I didn't want to discount it.
Yep.
So for a potential moment, that was a little scary. Thankfully, yeah, Nissim, it's a really great round for him, especially that Balk play. The 3 gets flying out. Really, really well done. Only been under control by Legacy. 4 players this time. towards B. It's been a traditional 4A, 1B stack. They flipped the script here, and the result is the same. It's a mowdown, a massacre, and a monster round by Legacy. Flawless to make light work out of that low buy.
Yeah, Liquid now, the pressure mounts up very, very fast indeed. So, very curious. They get the AWP out, which feels like it could be early, you might argue. Ultimate also struggling a little bit.
I think
and
that might be part of it.
Sacrificing the utility. But yeah, that's a very good point.
Yeah, I think he's really looked a little rough. Let's get him back into his comfort zone. Let's get him back onto his comfort gun. All part early, minimal util, and granted he can drop to him, worst case scenario, and hope that he can now start to get back in towards his game because they need him desperately.
Oh man, the nade damage is huge. The MAC-10 to follow these players, however, very nearly getting away with two. Oh my goodness, Elise took one tick of the early molly. It wasn't quite enough, and he lives, barely.
God. How does he survive there?
It's basically just an arm and a head right now, but there it is. The nade finishes him off.
What
Should have been hiding in the corner, I think, as far away from any danger as possible.
What a round he's just had. That's one of the worst kind of rounds to have as well. You can't do anything. You're just getting constantly barraged with util.
No one's A.
Yeah. They've taken the gamble stack term quite literally here, Liquid. Everyone B.
High rolling.
Yeah. And well, speaking of rolling, the red carpet's rolled out. Free plant, free round for Legacy. That's a 2-round buffer now. As they're going to tick over in towards 9. All Liquid can do is save. Uh-oh. That's not what you want at all, really, is it? I mean, I guess in that situation, you know, 4 versus 3, it's probably not worth playing a 1-2 split. So I guess gambling, it is the right call. I don't even hate the call itself. It's a 50-50. That's one they lose. So I hate to say it. They are going for the hunt, though. And I think this is a nice call by Legacy. You've got money to work with. Why not try and put pressure on it? Even just one more kill makes the buy-in towards the next round for Liquid really actually quite dicey.
Yeah, unfortunately not going to happen for them. I think they're also in the same sort of camp of like, let's not throw guns away. Let's try and build up some cash ourselves.
It costs so much money, though. I feel like for Lato, you know, you got 8 grand on a Galil.
Depends how you want to look at it. But yeah, you do have a good point there. It's not even like giving the AK away necessarily.
Yeah, exactly. If it was the AKs, I can sort of understand it, but die for the cause, right, with the Galil.
First tack pause here for Liquid, which is kind of interesting to see. Not a lot of pauses used here, actually, from either side. So 9-7, the game gets close, but Legacy have a chance to split these teams right down the middle if they can find another couple rounds. I think they start to hammer this one home and enjoy some time to reflect on the early days of the CAC.
Oh, let's see. Flashy taking that moment to breathe and converts. What has he spotted? It does feel like Legacy, at least their approach for now, it generally is just quite loose, right? You know, that they are, we've kind of joke about it a little bit, this sort of vibes-based Counter-Strike, but they are just floating around the map, getting, you know, it's a very early default of just, let's poke and prod both second mid in towards Banana, and then we react to gaps. And I kind of like it at the moment. It's this loose and fast style of play, and Liquid are struggling to prepare for it because they don't know what's coming their way. Nice little setup, though, from Elige and Shuhei as he gets a second behind it. Lato will catch Naf, but even still, this feels very difficult for them to try and move in towards the A side, considering their HP. The bomb will go down, but survival is only just found by Sadzin. It should be a next to impossible round, and Elige is making sure of it. All on the shoulders of 10 points of HP and a Galil. No way. A constellation kill short. That's about it. Nice round from Liquid.
Yeah, keeping it simple. The play comes to them, for sure. Okay, there we go. I was worried for a second. I was waiting to see that AWP appear.
Yeah.
I felt like no one had really gone for it early on in the sort of win before the defuse, as it were. All the same, yeah. Like I say, the round comes to Liquid. I think it's going to be difficult to replicate moments like that, but They now have to capitalize on this opportunity. And the money, like I was kind of pointing out, it will quickly run dry here for Legacy if they're not careful.
Yeah. We're looking for a little bit more impact out of Lux as well. A little quiet comparatively to the highs he's had in this game. It's Sadzen will open things up with a nade. The double dunk on towards Nertz. He's had a struggling game as well. 5 and 13. Shuhei really playing with fire there, but the nade, the fadeaway finds it, and he gets a second as well while full blind. Not a bad effort there under the pressure, and Ultimate nails are such an important shot. This is such scrappy Counter-Strike, and it's all left on the shoulders of Nissim. A 1v3 clutch. He's already had one of these as well, a 3K to save a round. We look at it once again. More Brown Mac corner, he stays posted, and Ultimate gets tagged, but he doesn't panic. Not flustered, shot connected.
2 very quick, very high impact kills coming in from Ultimate. I thought Legacy, the way it opened, were in the perfect spot to take that round. You know, really quick and part of their DNA, I think, but the nade touchdown in towards Sandbags really sold it for me. But it's Ultimate who really keeps that one alive. And he dropped the bomb in an awkward spot, right? They weren't able to reset the round. They weren't able to get that plant. Makes all the difference. Got a timeout coming in here. Second for Legacy. And they just about have money to get a buy together. Unfortunately, dumau is going to have to feel the burn. And this would be one of those great moments where we just use our heads a little bit. Drop him an AK, perhaps. I don't believe it. They've done it.
The Prophet.
There you go. All right. So we're going to see if Legacy can capitalize with this timeout.
I wonder what the change-up is as well. The tempo's been pretty thick and fast for Legacy, right? They're flying into all these fights. They're trying to get a lot of early map control, but it is leaving them at times potentially quite isolated. I wonder if they do try and slow it down just a tad here. It looks like, no, a barrage of utility towards top car. And they take this control. And Nertz is all alone here. Needs to be a little bit careful. Good util set to slow down the initial T push up and towards top banana.
Yeah, that's kind of the trouble, isn't it? Like, if the nades don't find any kills, you've just completely given the game away as to where you've got, like, 60% of your resources at least. So they call one rotation as we know. The numbers remain kind of average on this B bomb site. They may be expecting 3 over here, I feel like. The bomb's a little late getting in. Nertz. Patience pays off. I don't know where Lux is going. He's lost his mind, and he will get taken down, but the rest of the team keep it cool, and Liquid may be getting down and dirty. The gloves are off. Can they fight in the mud is what Legacy are asking here. Nissim, bro, where are you? Get over here. The kills are still coming in for Legacy, though. The bomb has yet to be planted. It's just such a mess. Ultimate, again, comes round from this coffin angle to try and bail the team out. Nissim, eventually, chop. Getting on his bike, will get over here. They've let him get CT. He knows that A is clear. Can Naf stop the bomb from crossing? No, he can't. What is going on? The bomb plant will come in. We've got a 2v2 on the retake. I've seen enough. Neo take over.
Gladly. Flash is all that Legacy have got here in the post plant. And util is non-existent for Liquid, but they've got 2 kits in play. Oh, Nissim, shoulder spotted, fall away. You don't need to fight here. You don't need to fight. He sticks around. It's a risk, but the reward is heavy. He gets one and he gets out. How does he get round that corner? Ultimate can't convert, and he's thrust into a top 1v2, and he gets caught by Sadzin. One of the wildest rounds of Counter-Strike, and somehow, some way, Legacy come out on top. I have no idea. It looked like Nissim was dawdling over towards A on that lurk, and it ends up being the strongest move.
But like, what it all started there. Lux is just not caring about the main body of the site. So crazy. But this is where Legacy are going to thrive, and this is what, you know, we've had many teams.
Yeah.
Over the life cycle of Counter-Strike that just kind of bend the rules, you know, the conventional rules of engagement, And if you allow them to do that, if you try and best them at that kind of game, they are going to beat you. They are going to take you in those important rounds. And then what happens against a team like Liquid as well, who have a lot of these vocal kind of players, they get in your head. Yeah. It's 9-9. You know, Naf is going to be annoyed with himself. If only he'd taken the stupid wide swing, he probably drops the bomb, but he's been trained to not do that kind of thing. Yeah. So it's just very, very frustrating, I think, to see that kind of play find success.
It's one of these situations, you know, for Legacy, they're happy to kind of drop the gloves, bare knuckle brawl. If you go for that sort of fight against them, you are just going to lose. Liquid need, for the most part, especially comparatively to Legacy, they actually do need the structure and the system. They need the rigidity, I guess you could call it, in a sense, where for Legacy, we said it, right? These guys will play loose and fast. They will bare knuckle brawl every situation that you give to them if you allow them to do so, because in the chaos, they can thrive. And that's a prime example of it. Flashing towards Apps, Elige spots no one's there. Nissan then reacts to reclaim the space. He doesn't even need to move here, Nissan. Oh my god, he could get a freebie. He really could. He doesn't spot him yet. Just patience. Patience will pay off for him. Ultimate will fall back at some point, especially if they can throw one flash towards long. There we go. There we go. There's the first. I don't think he needs to push, though. That's a bold move, but the team's not scaling towards the site either way. Ali's going to get to a third, in fact, but he then gets cut short and thrust it in to a 2 versus 2 retake for Liquid. This is hard. They can't afford to lose this either. They don't have the money to do so.
Oh, man, that smoke is spamming a little bit better than I think Shuhei was expecting. If he just committed to that one angle, he might have been able to get away with a kill. Not going to be the case. He's gathered a lot of information. I think they might know they're both in pit because there's a difference of weapons here with those sprays, but the bomb is planted so very well for them, and whereabouts in the pit, not quite sure. Nertz struggling at the moment. This would be a big clutch if he can take it. The FAMAS not happening for him, and he just lacks some confidence to get in the mixer. Oh. And Legacy move up to 11. 2 relatively unlikely rounds going the way of the Brazilians, and it could be the beginning of the end here for Liquid.
Yeah, honestly, really well done. Again, I think Nissan, that first kill he gets, it's just so important, right? You drop in that long kind of pressure, and it's not even like they use long control, but you just get rid of the AWP, you get rid of ultimate. The AWP is saved by Nertz, but when he said it, I mean, Liquid just couldn't afford to lose that round. And it does feel like in situations like that, especially when Legacy move as this unit in towards a site, it really feels like the comms are being quite cluttered for Liquid. I think Alicia's fantastic to get the amount of kills that he does, but there's just no support, unfortunately, for him.
Nice guys.
Getting close. Just caught the end of it.
That's a pretty funny cut, yeah.
11-9. Legacy 2 rounds ahead, 2 rounds away, taking the map and the series and booking their spot all the way to the semi-finals here of the CS Asia Championships 2025, which would be huge. And there's a bit of belief in the air as well. Ultimate, he's dropped the AWP back and he legs Lux. Unfortunate not to get the kill itself. The nade sailed past his head to minimal damage on towards Nertz.
Oh, thinking about it. Oh, if he was quick enough, but he'd have to be very quick for that one. He's going to get Molotov'd out. Meanwhile, in the apartments, we've got a different story unraveling. Shuhei drops Nissim, who has been a real thorn in the side of a lot of these rounds. Ultimate to creep round, a key frag picked up. The smoke is there as well to stop the push coming in. The kills are good here, but Nertz staying alive on his MP7. He doesn't know where to turn. The support comes in, the SMGs get it done, and Liquid will stem the tide. The money broken at the worst possible time for Legacy.
Yeah.
This might just go the distance and a little bit more. However, Liquid really in a good position. What do you do here?
Yeah.
You know, you can't eco. What's the point? So you have to force. But then the buy-in that you got to eco the next and let them get to 12? Like, oh, tough.
This really is make or break territory, isn't it? The force buy-in, and it really feels like Legacy are essentially going to be force buying the rest of the rounds in regulation. We'll see whether there's more required, but that is such a big round to scalp away from Legacy, and also in the fashion they do. We were just talking about how Legacy like to bare-knuckle brawl a lot of these rounds, and Liquid give them a taste of their own medicine, a chaotic, scrappy fight towards top card. Now, what have you got? Here's them! Oh, he lined up two, one of which jumping as a liege lad, another to the tally. Oh, Legacy, they went for a pop play towards A, and they're all caught.
Oh, Naf keeps it going. Bomb at his feet. Not a chance for dumau. Not a chance for a kill, maybe. Which I think they would have liked to return on the investment. They would have loved a bomb plant.
Freebie of an orb?
Oh, yeah. Got to be careful. You can't be serious. You can't.
No.
Hey, come on, man.
No.
Come on. Just kill him. That's just rude.
This late in the game as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's a perfect time for a knife, isn't it? And
What
now
a
you
way
gotta force again.
Yeah, Rob salt in the wound. Like, now, excellent work. He has one step, literally one step, and that's all he needs to realize they're up close. We're in this smoke together. What a time to turn, though. What an angle. Shout out the Obs team. That is such a good replay to show just how fine those margins were. Oh, man. 11-11. No money. And Legacy do actually something that's quite rare that you see at the pro level these days. They actually opt to eco for overtime. Not a lot of teams do. A lot of teams will force and rather risk the chance of a win.
All right, here would be my question.
Uh-oh.
Why would you then force in the previous round? Maybe?
Yes, yeah.
You know what I mean? You might as well just put all of your chips in. So maybe they've not taken a step back and looked at the bigger picture, which is not a great sign. Listen for one, but that'll be that. And this is what it all comes down to. Overtime or death for Legacy.
Do you know, if I actually had to guess about why they forced in kind of that round prior, I actually reckon there was no foresight, really. I reckon there was no long-term thinking. It was like, right, you know, we're close. You know, we can see that we're getting space. Our XQs have been quite good. Let's force here.
Yeah.
We can win this. And they don't. And then it's like, uh-oh, like, now what?
I think the thing is as well, when you get to this stage of the game and the series, if you start doubting your instincts,
Yes.
it's maybe a little worse than like a logistical choice, perhaps. And obviously it's so natural for players to force in that position, but it's a conversation that maybe we come back to, maybe not. If they win this one, they will certainly shut us up and shut Liquid up as well for a little while. Replenishment of utility in towards CT here for Elige. Oh, you can't be serious now. Just spams away. He's looking for a little bit more as well, and you know what? He was a bit close.
I think from what we've seen so far, Naf's got to be the MVP of the series. He's looked great all the way throughout. And I shot my ultimate. Catcher's locked on that smoke break. The remaining three, they're moving in towards short. I don't know. This is done for me.
Naf on high, looking to be the hero once again. Partnered up with Elige, the dynamic duo to hold them back. Naf remains alive. The damage is done. There's one more to go, and he's only got 2 HP. Takes down the AWP, but the bomb needs recovering. He's got 3 more to get through. Surely not going to happen. Nertz bursts in, and Liquid have done it. Pip to the post. They will take it. They will skip ahead to the semifinals.
That they will do indeed. Our first team in the semifinals is Team Liquid. A strong performance across 3 maps, taking out Legacy. Legacy, who will